Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Design News Weekly, a show that quickly goes over some of the most interesting design news that happened during the week and is meant to keep designers and design enthusiasts in the loop and up to date about what's going on in the world of design. Let's start off this first episode with design software updates. First up, we have the After Effects update. The After Effects April update gives us a lot of new features, but there's two that stand out. First, the expression editor. The expression editor has been upgraded, not in functionality, but in look, which is going to help you code a lot better. Instead of just typing text into a text box in After Effects for your expressions, now we have a whole redesigned environment that's going to look more like a coding environment than a text box. It's going to look similar to what you would see in an HTML, CSS coder, where you can have things collapse, you can colorize different words and stuff. So that's a big plus. But the game changer here is the content aware fill for video. Rotoscoping in video is a whole thing. And now After Effects has kind of turned it into a click of a button kind of thing. This truly is a game changer and is going to make editing video rotoscoping a lot easier. This new feature is powered by Adobe Sensei, which is Adobe's AI. So it appears to be working good right now, but I'm sure it'll be much better in the future and it'll just keep getting bigger and better. But if you're an After Effects person or a video person in general, this is a game changer. By far, this is one of the biggest new features to come to After Effects in a long time. So definitely check that out. Moving on to Premiere Pro, we've also had a lot of updates in that as well. But again, there's two that stick out from the rest. And the first one is rulers and guides. We take this for granted a lot. And I know it's kind of a simple feature that, okay, yeah, you can have some rulers and guides, but this is really welcomed in Premiere Pro. I think this is going to help out a lot as just kind of one of those new little things. And I think the coolest thing about this is you can actually save and share your guides, unlike some other programs. So you can set up a lower thirds ruler guide, and then you could just save that guide out and potentially give it to coworkers or other people on the internet, just anything, and they can just load those guides up. So I think that's a really cool feature. Now, moving on to the big one, the freeform project panel. This is something that I think is really needed, and it's just a simple thing that is going to save so much time. It basically just allows you to take all your clips, instead of just seeing them in a straight line or a tool panel, now you can just lay them out on a canvas and kind of group them together however you want. You can make the size bigger on one that you feel like this is the shot. You can just kind of line them up. You can organize these however you want. And that's going to be really helpful for different people's workflows. And this is really, I know it's not a huge thing technically, but I think it's just really going to help a lot of people to just really get their flow down the way they want to do it. And I think it's going to get projects out faster. So I personally will definitely be looking forward to using the Project Freeform panel. And that's going to wrap it up for what's new in software design. I'm going to have links to the Adobe site in the video if you want to check these out in more detail. In architectural news design, the Shed, New York's truly one-of-a-kind responsive design building, will be opening its doors and kicking off its events this weekend. As far as design goes, this building's remarkable. It was made to accommodate both large and small-scale events and actually moves to fit the scale of the event. The whole main area of this building is on a rail system that can move in and out to fit the event specifically. On top of that, other rooms can morph and be used for larger, small events. There's just a ton of really smart design choices going on here. The two architects that came up with and executed this design are Elizabeth Diller and David Rockwell. And all I can say about it is it's just pure genius, not only in technical design, but also the aesthetics of the building. I love the futuristic vibe with all the triangles, and personally, I can't wait to go see this with my own two eyes in the future. As far as events go, there are a mixture of musical events and plays, with Bjork being the first main headliner, doing 8 shows that are, of course, all sold out. If I was on the ball, I would have for sure gotten tickets to this, but I'm actually thinking about going to check out this Dragon Spring Phoenix Rises, which is a kung fu musical that could be pretty sweet. If you want to know more about the Shed and want to check out its events that are coming up, you can visit theshed.org. And if anybody watching visits the opening weekend, let me know about your experience in the comments. This week was April Fool's, and we had a few funny design jokes along with some weird ones. But one in particular was T-Mobile's re-envisioning of the phone booth. I know this is just a joke, but I think whoever designed this actually took a second to really think it through and come up with a good overall concept. Obviously, the phone booth is a thing of the past. However, this design would be a really good fit for those ugly and uninviting photo booths that you see at clubs and events. If you want to check this video out, I put a link in the comments below. And they also followed it up with a pretty hilarious mobile version of the phone booth that is also linked below. But overall, they did really good production value on both these videos. So kudos to T-Mobile, who in my opinion did the best April Fool's joke for sure. Moving on, we have two entries in the product design category this week. First, we have the Beats Audio True Wireless Pro earbuds. These are similar in design to the previous generation Beats Pro wired earbuds, but they have a lot sleeker look and an evolved design. Apple bought Beats a few years back, and many people thought that they would be absorbed into the Apple brand and start to have an Apple aesthetic. But the new Beats headphones do stand apart design-wise from their parent company, Apple. Also in product design, CC Boyce of Boyce Studios started a Kickstarter for a PlantUrn that also doubles as a cremation vase. Well, actually, it's the other way around. CC was contacted to create a custom urn by a client, and after completing it, posted a picture of it on Instagram. She was flooded with requests from people who also wanted one, so she created a Kickstarter campaign and launched it this week. This is truly what design is all about, taking an idea and creativity and coming up with a product that completely stands out in its category. They come in two different styles, speckled maple and walnut sycamore, and come in small, medium, and large sizes. If you would like to learn more or kickstart one for yourself, I put the link in the description. Lastly, I want to give a quick mention to the Borderlands 3 video game trailer that was dropped this week. The Borderlands franchise is 10 years old now, and they were one of the first to adopt the cel-shaded look that is really refined in part 3. And compared to part 1 and 2, there's a lot more detail going on, and they bumped up the look of the game to like a next-gen look, yet it keeps the same overall vibe and feel of the original. And even though the cartoon style video games like this, they don't really stand out as much as they used to, I think Borderlands has done a great job with the visuals, with the look of part 3, and I think it does stand out in the pack. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to keep up to date with what's going on in the world of design.